Hello, hello. Friday. It's Black Friday. I don't know if anybody else goes out and shops, but I don't. I do not love crowds. I really don't love shopping, to be honest. I like online shopping, but like a crowded mall, there's not much worse in my book than that. So if you Black Friday shopped, good for you. Hey, Amanda. I do not Black Friday shop. So anyway, but it is Friday after Thanksgiving. It is November 29th, which means today and tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of November, the last day of it's been a long day, of Diabetic Awareness Month. So I will continue to do Type 1 Tuesdays every Tuesday, but November is the only month that I'm going to do something everyday live. So what I wanted to share today is a comment that was made in front of Molly the other day, and it's really kind of bothered me. And I think people sometimes think there's not a whole lot of judgment or stigma around type 1, which is completely false because our kids get judged all the time. They assume they got type 1 because they ate too much sugar or because they're not active enough, and type 1 has nothing to do with that. We've discussed that multiple times. Like, type 1, nothing they did, could do, might ever do, could ever cause it to happen. It's an autoimmune, it's something inside their body. It's not something they did to cause it to happen. But I digress. But there are also other judgments that kids get from time to time, and this was maybe the first one that Molly's gotten, and it really has kind of weighed heavy on me, and I'm trying to not let the mama bear come out from me and me pounce. She was at a swim meet, her very first swim meet of her high school career, on Monday night, and the opposing coach was talking to our coach, and he was commenting that he thought Molly had talent. And that he was impressed with her, which was super, super sweet. And our coach made the comment that Kyle just walked in. Our coach made the comment that he said, yeah, she's tough. She's also a type 1 diabetic. And the other coach went, ooh, endurance. And Molly overheard it. And Molly didn't tell us right away, but she did tell us yesterday, and it's been bothering her, that the fact that a coach, as soon as he heard she was a type 1 diabetic, assumes that she doesn't have endurance or that she can't be a great athlete because of what type 1 will bring to the table with her. And it bothered Molly. It's bothered Kyle and I. We talked about it today in the car. I'm half tempted to call the coach and give him an education. In some ways, I guess he's right. In some ways, it does affect Molly. She does have to sit out from practice from time to time. I wouldn't say it's going to affect her endurance or her abilities, but it does make her train differently than other athletes. But there's a grit from our kids that some kids don't ever have because they never come up against any adversity. Thank goodness Kyle's in the room. Adversity like Molly does. So it makes them tough. It gives them grit. But for a coach, for an adult to say something like that and to say it with an earshot of Molly, really hurt her feelings. And so it's kind of the first time that someone said something like that was just kind of like, ooh, doubting her or limiting her because she's a type 1 diabetic. So anyway, it was just kind of a shocking moment when Molly told us, and it bothered her enough that she told us. But it's part of the judgment, I guess, that Molly will get from time to time, that she isn't strong because she's a type 1 diabetic, or she can't do what everybody else can do. And certainly she has to do things differently than what other people do at times. But she's not any less of an athlete because she has to take extra precautions from time to time or do extra things to keep herself safe. So just wanted to throw that out there and share that because, again, it was a shocking comment for us and a very harsh judgment on her, and not a very nice thing to do in front of a 14-year-old high school child. But our prayer is that Molly will listen to what that coach said, use it as fuel in her fire to prove that idiot wrong. That's not very nice to call him an idiot. I'm sure he's a lovely man, but it was a very
uneducated man.
Okay, my husband's correcting me. He's not an idiot. He's an uneducated man. Kyle's the better side of me, you guys, all the time. He is the better half of me for sure. Anyway, just remember, when you're out there and you're around other people, no matter what their struggle is or what their adversity they have to overcome, they're not less of a person. They may just have extra struggles to get to where you and I get. We are lucky as healthy, able-bodied people that we don't have to go through some of those hurdles that other people do. But Molly will go through those hurdles and she will come out on the other side stronger, because not only will she go through them, but she's going to come out with some grit. So anyway, don't make stupid comments. And note to self, because I'm sure I do it sometimes too. I think sometimes we just say things and we don't really think. But especially when we're saying things around children, we should watch our words and watch the doubt that we put into their heads. I think it put a little bit of doubt in Molly's head for someone to say something like that. Ooh, endurance. Like she can't be a strong swimmer. So here's to proving them wrong. Here's to showing what a strong person she is. I'm so proud of her. Tomorrow is the last day of Diabetic Awareness Month for 2019. So I will be on here tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to have Molly on here with me. Maybe. But if not, I'll definitely wrap up the month. And so I'll talk to you then. Happy Diabetic Awareness Month. And as always, please fight with us until type 1 is type none. Because if there's type none, then that coach couldn't make a comment like that and doubt my child. He'd have to find another reason to doubt her. And he probably would, but it wouldn't be because of type 1. Have a great evening, everybody.